Close your eyes in fields of wonder. Close your eyes and dream. Close your eyes in fields of wonder. Close your eyes and dream.
Hello, friends. Can you hear me?
Greetings, friends. Katya, yes,
Can you
we could.
hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's my turn to welcome all of us to this meeting as we stand on this line projected by this great opposition between the Sun, Mercury, and Saturn, stepping into the next part of the year, precipitating those very subtle spiritual energies, relaying to matter in a different way. Welcoming this inflow of love through the energy of Virgo and the energy of will coming veiled through Vulcan. So as we stand together, let us work.
Or, you know, we'll go into that.
And so before we go on, we invite us to light our candles and connect to the fire of our group heart. Where we connect with our group heart, I will read a poem by Rainer Maria Rilke that says, "Be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart and try to love the questions themselves, like locked rooms and like books that are now written in a very foreign tongue. Do not seek the answers which cannot be given you because you would not be able to live them. And the point is to leave everything. Leave the question now. Perhaps you will then gradually, without noticing it, live along some distant day into the answer."
This is our gathering in the garden of our group, where we tune in with the frequency of ashram, with the Buddhic frequency. we're approaching the full moon of Virgo. And with this gathering, we're seeking to align with this energy, holding our questions and listening what will come. And as we prepare to start our work today as a way of alignment, we invite us to go around the circle, saying our name and where we're connecting from, and sharing on what is the question or what are the questions that you're holding now. What are those questions that we bring into Virgo energy? And so let us start. My name is Alexander, and I'm connecting from Brooklyn, New York. And the question that takes me today is, what is the emptiness that I hear? What is it about? And I want to invite Claire to continue.
Hi, everyone. Good to gather today. The question, so I'm Claire, and I'm in Dunedin on the Otago Peninsula in the South Island of New Zealand. It's dark here, early morning. And the question that I'm holding at the moment is, can I sit with the uncertainty of not knowing? Thank you.
And would you call the next person, Claire, please?
Andrea, can I invite you to speak?
Hello, everyone. I'm Andrea Ross, and I am calling in from Fishers Island, New York. The question that I would have was how best to love. And maybe that's it. How best to love.
Who would you invite next, Andrea?
And I'll invite Daniela.
Thank you, Andrea. I'm Daniela, calling in from Brussels, Belgium. It's cold here. It doesn't look or feel like summer, but here I am, still smiling. The question I have, and it seems to be a question that is always present in some form or another in me, but still, is what is seeking manifestation through, well, through me, through us, through our work? What, what is it? Does it have a name? Can I have the name, please? That's the question, actually. And I'm calling Sarah to share with us her question.
Hi, am Tara, and I'm from Portland, Oregon, and I can't think of a question. There's so many questions I have to ask everybody, God. So I can't, there's no pinpointing it. There's just so much that I don't know. It's a drop in the ocean. It's what I know. And so full of questions. Kiki.
Hello, Kiki. I'm in Washington, D.C. today, USA. Gee, Tara, I'm glad you said you didn't have a question, because I've been sitting here sort of beginning to sweat, thinking, oh my Lord, I don't think I have a question. I didn't know. Why didn't they tell me? Or didn't I read it? What did I miss? But then I'm thinking, I just want to start. I mean, we want to start everything we talk about. We want to start. So I think, okay, how can we start? Maybe. That's it. So I will go for Annette. I call next.
This is Annette from Denmark. I'm afraid my camera is not working. And my question is, how do I get in touch with my intuition? And I pass the word to Lori.
Hello, everyone. I'm from Mesa, Arizona, very close to where we held the USR conferences in person. Yeah, so today I realized the moon is in Pisces. We honor the illumination of the sun, of course, in Virgo, but the moon is also with the planet Saturn. And, you know, Virgo having everything to do with our most essential, what we draw most essential out of life, not only the birth of the Christ in the cave of the heart and our own spiritual awakening. Combining these, my question, I think, is what is mine, what is our most essential, greatest spiritual responsibility at this time? Because there are so many problems in the world and so many things that need to be addressed and so many ways we can address it, but where are their priorities? That's what I'm feeling in my heart. That's my question. Yeah. I apologize because I don't see the list of participants. Okay, let me pull it up. I'm sorry. I would like to pass this question to Anna.
I think you mean me. I've just been there, so I think I give it over to Kathy.
Oh, I thought I saw Anna Schuyler. Apologies. Okay.
Yeah, there's Anna Sklar. Sklar, sorry if I mispronounced your name, Anna.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Sorry, Annette. Seems like we cannot hear you, Anna. So Anna is with us, and if you will manage to.
So I was secondarily asked. So aloha, this is Kathy Heller. I'm in Hawaii. And the question that I hold is, how can I deepen and sustain the stillness and the will to love in the face of perfidy, repeating perfidy of humans, especially displayed around the Lahaina fire and the predatory behaviors that are descending on the survivors. And I will pass the attention to, I think, Tara. Have you yet had a chance?
I have, yeah. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We also have Tina and Katja.
Tina, I pass this honor to Tina.
Hello, Tina Hutchings from Castle Rock, Colorado. I've been thinking a lot about the mother of the world and trying to grasp the concept and the reality of the mother world. As a child, I was enthralled with the concept of mother of the world. And I sort of lost that connection in my more recent past years. And it seems like a greater mystery to me when it felt so close when I was younger, even into my 20s. But somewhere around my 40s or 50s, I lost that connection, that sense. And I read in Infinity 178, Cosmos directs the world to the mastery of beauty. Yes, verily, the mother of the world possesses the magnet of beauty. And I thought about that magnet of beauty, whether obviously she was the beauty and the magnet attracting the beauty from us towards her, but also she's attracting the beauty from us to her. And I've been wrestling with the concept with the cosmic magnet and the cosmic heart in relationship to the mother of the world. Thank you. I call on Katya.
Thank you, Tina. I'm calling from Rutgers University in New Jersey at the moment, and new students are coming in, our daughter amongst them, coming to build new forms and reveal the essence within them. And to me, the question is, how do you relay your wisdom or your experience without stopping that new or stuffing that space that the new has to come into with whatever was, it's just this formula that I ponder so much, that evil is good that should have been left behind. So I just kind of reliving that formula at the moment. And so the question to me is how to precipitate enough of the energy of the soul, the Buddhic energy, to all the planes, so they'll be sustained in love, in the soul in the love of the soul, in this amazing energy, which is also Virgo. And it'll be enough not to squeeze it out of our bodies, out of our circumstance, out of our surroundings. How do we become that channel? How do I become that channel that vitalizes my own life and life of those around me, and the group life? So that is a very practical question. And I think we're over, right? Circle is over.
We have.
So back to you. Anybody not spoken? I think we did all. Yeah. That's it. John was there, but he left at some point or got disconnected. But we hold him in our circle. Thank you.
Thank you, Katya. Yvette just joined us, and we were going around the circle saying where we're connecting from, our name and where we're connecting from, and sharing the questions that is resonant for us now. So if you would like to share, please. If not, no pressure. And let us now hold our circle for a minute in silence, standing together, recognizing each other's questions. And listen. Over to you, Claire.
It always touches me how when one of us articulates a question, we articulate it for the group, for the whole. So thank you, everyone, for bringing questions forth into the group. And now we'll say the invocation of unity. O hidden life, vibrant in
every atom.
O hidden light, shining in
every creature.
O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May all who feel themselves as one with thee know they are therefore one with every other. This looks like a rather dense slide, and it is, but I subscribe to a wonderful newsletter by David Spangler, who I'm sure some of you will know. He has a website called Lorien, the Lorien, I think. And I think that Daniela was going to post a full transcript of this newsletter into the chat box so that you can read the full text by yourselves in your own time. But there were some very beautiful things he said in this week's newsletter, so we thought we'd share them with you. there I had a teacher, Lawson Bracewell, who used to speak of one of the Virgo signature qualities as the hands of God at work, and the practical application of Virgo. And David was just writing into some of these qualities and questions that we've articulated here today as well. And he was talking about magic. The title of his talk was "A Magician is a Master of Friendship." And I found his take on this so interesting and grounding and encouraging. So I'll start reading just to share with you some of what he said. And this is in his voice. He said, "My inner colleagues have occasionally remarked that the reality of magic is much simpler and accessible and yet more profound than our images, at least as they exist in the popular imagination, would suggest. If anything, they suggest that a magician is simply a master of friendship. That is, a person who is a friend and companion with the rest of creation. To me, this implies a non-coercive, cooperative, loving, and collaborative approach. The so-called magical will isn't involved at all, except perhaps as a will to be a friend. The magician isn't someone who controls the world and shapes it to his or her will, but someone who befriends the world and joins wills in creating a mutually enhancing neighborhood. Daniela, would you like to carry on? The next bit.
It's actually Alexander, but
Alexander.
I thank you for these quotes. So I have the occasion to say thank you.
Continue. In a way, it's like being a gardener. In fact, one of my inner colleagues once remarked that magic is not seen. It's what happens invisibly behind the scenes. He didn't mean that magic simply occurred in these subtle realms or with subtle energies where physical senses couldn't perceive it. He meant something more like the processes that occur in a plant as it grows from seed to sprout and bursts through the soil. Or even more precisely, that magic lay in the nourishing that enable those life processes to work.
There is another aspect to magic, and that is the creation of wonder. I think of a wizard or a magician as a custodian of wonder and wonderment. But this is not simply the ability to create spectacle and phenomena that razzle-dazzles the mind. It's the ability to create spaciousness, an opening of the heart and mind in joy that creates a space in which more of who we are can emerge. It's an enlivening of the creative imagination that allows us to engage more of the world with more of ourselves. To me, this is what wonder does. It opens my eyes to see more of the world and to enter the world more fully. In this sense, a wizard is a custodian of boundaries, knowing when to support them because they need to contain something to provide focus and holding, and knowing when to open them and enlarge them to bring a greater space into being.
Let us sit with this for a minute. In a way, we are all magicians in training. We all learn from life to life how to bring the essence, the seed of true life with big L into manifestation. And Virgo teaches us exactly this, how we create with the essence and how we become hands of God. If you join this meeting for the first time, we use this gathering to meditate together on the quality of each sign as sun passes through the zodiac. And focusing on the most essential qualities and tuning in with those qualities, bringing those qualities into our toolbox of a magician. Or if you will, it's like a artist who collects paint on own palette to draw a beautiful painting later. So let us prepare for the meditation. Let us turn off our cameras and maybe if you don't have a pen and paper, let's take a moment to prepare for that, because there will be a moment where we would ask you to write your impressions to share afterwards. And when we will share, in a way, it will be like continuation of our meditation. Because through expressing our impressions, we bring unexpressed qualities into existence, into manifestation. So let us prepare. Alignment. Tune in with the soul within. I am soul. We recognize presence of each other in a circle, recognizing the light of each other. You are souls. we extend the radiance of our light of our souls, forming the group radiant circle of light. We are. A radiant group soul. We visualize the group center as a radiant beam of light, extending from the group heart upwards. Connecting with the heart of the hierarchy, the Christ. We create the rainbow bridge through which we ascend, entering the periphery of the hierarchy. We tune in with the quality of Virgo, recognizing its frequency, its note, its main resonant quality. We hold the silence for 5 minutes, tuning in this with the quality of Virgo, allowing this energy to fill all the space within and without. Focus on the question that is with you. Maybe it's a question that you voiced at the beginning of the meeting. Maybe it's much deeper, intimate question that comes to you now through the silence of Virgo. Lift this question into the light of your meditation. Hold it and listen. Don't look for the answers. Allow the magic to make its work. Inwardly sound Om and release the question. Let it go. Focus again on the quality of the energy of Virgo. Allow impressions to precipitate into your mind. Express in your own words the highest truth of quality of Virgo. relate the quality of Virgo to the present world opportunity, thus universalizing the concept, seeing its relationship to world affairs, its usefulness, and spiritual value to humanity as a whole. Write down your impressions. Choose an idea that came to you in relations to the world situation, the quality of Virgo in relations to what is happening around us. Study that idea in connection with yourself, the disciple, active in service of the master's work, but not in connection with personality. Make that idea practical, enabling it to qualify you and enrich you. inwardly sound the Om with the intent of making the sensed idea a part of your very nature. As the disciple, you have realized that the knowledge of truth and the reception of ideas lays on you the responsibility to be a transmitter to others. We prepare now to share in the circle the most resonant ideas, recognizing it as part of the process of manifestation, bringing ideas into the expressed form. Our group vision quest is a collaborative experiment invoking the vision of the unfolding plan for humanity. Each of us perceives a part of the wider vision and thereby contributes to the seeding of the divine plan. When you're ready to share, please unmute yourself. And as we listen to each other sharing, let us strive to connect with the core essence of what's been shared.
Hello, this is Lori. Should I just leave the camera off and share my impressions? How would you prefer?
Yes, let us keep our cameras off.
Okay.
Our sharing
Yeah.
information of meditation.
Okay. So, yeah, I was just so incredibly inspired, both by the beautiful article that Claire shared. So I'd like to share some of my impressions from that and then the different impressions I had after the meditation. Just to say, in that beautiful article, it was talking about opening the heart, creating spaciousness, and then Alexander, you referred to it as, life with the capital L. And all of those things have these beautiful correspondences with Virgo as being, Jupiter is the hierarchical ruler. It governs the monadic plane, pure spirit, which is this, also anchoring the Sutratma thread in the heart. But talk about, the heart itself and life, both on a practical and a spiritual level. It speaks to both of that. And then, the body governed by the moon, which is the esoteric soul ruler of Virgo, but governing the physical body, the relationship that Virgo, the virgin, was so pure in body that she could give birth to the Christ child. And so the association with that we have to first start with the physical body and prepare it with proper nutrition and purification and then with the, I think of Virgo as service. How do we serve most effectively? And how the preceding purification is the first step before we can even do that. But we have to start with, nutrition. Is humanity even being fed properly? How do we assist others? How do we awaken others? It's a sign associated with the first initiation, the first anchoring on the path, the birth of the Christ in the cave of the heart. So how can we as a group help others awaken and inspire them? And in that respect, how do we serve? So I just feel very incredibly inspired, if I think in terms of the monad and spirit and bringing it all the way down to the physical plane, and just great reverence for the sign Virgo and the pristine nature of the Virgin, who is the epitome of the highest archetype of a female as well. So that's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori.
Hello. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, Yvette.
I came in a little late. I apologize. And this is my first time coming to one of these. So I think I'd jump right in and share my impressions with you. I am a Virgo moon and a Libra sun and rising. And during the meditation, I saw a lot of pink and gold and love. But I felt a tension in my ajna center, particularly my nose and like the upper roof of my mouth. And I don't know if it's because it's just something that's been on the mind a lot lately, but what I saw was the need for generational healing. There's a lot of pain out there right now. And, this is a great time to really reach in as Virgo and just show compassion and understanding to others' trauma. So that way, as a planet, we can all start to understand each other and work together more. And that's about it. I didn't have really anything more than that. Thank you for letting me share with you.
Thank you.
Nila here. My impressions were actually continuous questions. Questions continued to pour in, and one of those that caught the bulk of my attention is about trying to imagine how the world would be, how the world would look like, how would we function if we as in humanity, entire humanity, knew that we are in charge of giving birth to divinity. How would the things be if we all felt as mothers who are giving birth to love, actually, to a being of love, to beings of love. Thank you. That's all for me.
During this time of Virgo, let us be still, pay attention, and through the eyes of the child, discover the magic that is present in every moment. Imagining with joyful curiosity the infiniteness of life more abundant, all that which the mother of the world creates, the essence of love. Beautiful temples of substance to embody universal consciousness and the light of Christ. The will to love is realized through the aspiration to befriend all of God's creations, to identify with and celebrate the truth of our companionship and unity.
Hi, this is Claire, and I really don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. But the images that came to me during the meditation were just of my hands open, and in the one hand, I was holding compost, and in the other hand, a tuning fork. And at first, they felt like quite disparate images. But then the more I sat with them, I realized that the compost is kind of the chaos, the messiness, the tangle, the knottiness that appears disordered, that is all the ingredients of my life and of the group life. And it is also vital and alive, and it's in process. And the tuning fork felt like an invitation to consider this compost and the fine, or to listen to it actually, and to fine tune and put to good use all the ingredients of my life, that some of it needs to be turned over and aerated and worked back into the soil where it's nourishment. Some of it needs to be piled onto a bonfire and burnt off as dross, and to be discriminating about which is which. But how, you know, how vital the compost is to the garden, and how vital listening is to our befriending of each other and ourselves. Much to ponder there for me, but I felt very much the invitation to work from that position of well, towards fine-tuning, something about fine-tuning. Thank you.
Hello, it's Kiki here. At the start, I went back to the question I asked, how can we start? And during that moment when we had a quiet moment when at that point in the meeting, what came to my mind was smile. I thought, okay, that's a good start. And then during that lovely reading, the first thing he talked about, David Spangler, was friendship. And I thought, well, there it is. There's the smile. There's to start the friendship. And from there and then there, I can't remember now, but there were a few of the other thoughts that were in that reading. It seemed to build on top of that. And then when we got to the meditation proper, and Alexander, I remember him saying, well, think of Virgo. So I said, okay, we'll now go to Virgo. And I get, as an earth sign, I'm a Capricorn, so I sort of think of another earth sign as structure and order and the boundaries that were in the list. I thought, yes, all that is needed. If we're any structure that has to be built, it needs the firm foundation, and you need to have order and boundaries to get things going. But then suddenly a window flew open and it blew all the papers away where all these precise notes were being written down. And it said, smile. And then I think Alexander said, then let the magic happen. And that was it. The magic will just start as these start. The highest truth, the quality of Virgo for humanity, again, fecundity, the Virgo is the harvest. It's fecund there, the mothering. And we are mothering, giving birth to love, as someone just said. And maybe that all does start with a smile. And Claire, thank you for the compost and tuning fork. That was lovely. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.
as we start meditating, the recognition of the quality of Virgo was as limitations voluntarily assumed to bring the life into matter. And my original questions got transformed into the question, how do I overcome the limitations? How I overcome my limitations? And so what was coming through the reflection was that it's this quality of Virgo, it's that in a way like this waves going underwater and above the water, remembering who you are and forgetting who you are, connecting with the essence and get dissolved in the matter, being smashed by limitations again. And so it's that the impulse of Virgo is to remember. And now as I say that, I smile, just recall that phrase that Daniela shared with us at the Egyptian lab, creative labs, that Isis who remembered, like reconnected parts of, I'm blanking out the name of the, Daniela, tell me, the main deity in the Egyptian pantheon.
Osiris.
Osiris, yes. So it's about remembering, like connecting those pieces of that essence, of that, the reasons why we came here. Is that what, as Tina said at the beginning, like to reconnect, remember that the mother, that's so, we all know it, it's so imprinted in us, the presence of that energy, but as we go through life, we forget. And for humanity is now on that moment where we actually on the edge of need to remember, and that's the main task, it's the main call. And so for us as students of ageless wisdom, it's this task of holding that balance of being in the world but not out of the world. And it's in a way, this, the hint for that is in the esoteric ruler for Virgo is moon veiling Vulcan, the form veiling the pulsating life that comes through the first ray of Vulcan. Thank you.
This is Annette. I've just read in the Rays and Initiations from 1942 that the world situation now, or then, and still is, I guess, is in the burning ground. Then it was the World Wars, and now it is burning ground in actuality, in forests burning and chaos. And I thought about Virgo, and I thought the highest principle in Virgo is Christ in you, the hope of glory. And I thought about the moon, the esoteric ruler is veiling Neptune, the water of the birth of the wound, and Vulcan as the labors. So I think we are in the world situation is that we are in labor with the Christ consciousness, because now the energy is going directly from Shambhala without hierarchy and directly to humanity. That's why we have the burning ground that is burning all the old habits and old feelings and old structures away, so we can build a new with the Vulcan. So this is my thoughts. Thank you.
Hello, this is Tina. I started off first with feeling the need for forgiveness, to forgive myself, and to learn how to nourish myself, which is also the process of a soul learning to nourish humanity and to forgive humanity. And as I labor to birth that Christ consciousness within me, we labor to birth that Christ consciousness within humanity. And when we think about the reappearance of the Christ, one thing that struck with me is the need for peace, and that we should not have any wars. And if we had that consciousness of forgiveness and to nurture each other, we'd have no war. And we'd progress closer to that Christ consciousness within us and the reappearance of the Christ. Think of Virgo as a energy vortex that nourishes us. And we, as an awakening progressive group, we contact that light, and we have that need to be solemn, to continuously carry that light, to be steadfast in that light. And in that steadfastness, in that light, we hold the vision for humanity. We hope for achievement. We listen, we respond, we nurture that development of awakening, that first initiation process. I've observed some people that were vloggers, and their progress, I could tell they've taken the first initiation. It was pretty amazing when I realized that. And we can see that everywhere. Even though we look upon the world and think it's crazy and chaotic and a mess, people are awakening, and we hold that steadiness, that steadfast continuity of light within us, that love within us, holding, hoping for humanity as a whole to make that next step forward. And I was left with the lasting impression of what is new? What is that new that is needed? Thank you.
If anyone else would like to share, please, before we proceed.
Sasha, can I share the prayer to the Universal Mother from Master Serapis Bey? It's just 2 lines.
Of course.
Universal Mother, weave in me the language of love that brings me closer to loving my brothers and sisters in oneness. Grow in me my ability to think, feel, and act with a love that binds all things together in beauty and creation. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Claire. It was really beautiful. My impressions were, all of that was silence. And within that silence, this evolution of the mother or the mater that nurtures and gives birth to the spirit, this mind that allow us to unite in a different way. The mind that is not aggressive, a liberated mind. Thank you.
Anyone would like to share more? Anna wrote in the chat, the duties of Virgo include expressing the law of compassion, that is, the rule of selfless cooperation that guides the universe in its essential aspects. In due time, the soul learns to combine the vision of the part with the understanding of the totality. A wise pilgrim sees the oneness by examining the fragment, and as he calmly observes the whole, he can see the essence of every particle. Let us continue our meditation now. Visualizing the group chalice. We offer our expressed impressions into the group chalice. And we invoke the energy of synthesis. To blend into the sound of radiance all our impressions. And we invoke the energy of the second ray, which radiates to humanity through the sign of Virgo, as the main source of energy of love in this cycle, coming from the triangle of second ray, Virgo, Pisces, Gemini. And we prepare to radiate our impressions to the world. And I invite Daniela to sound the synthetic poem composed of our sharings as a ritual of radiation.
Our group, inspiring the awakening, gently guided by the highest female archetype, showing compassion and understanding to each other. We are all mothers giving birth to beings of love. We are all children perceiving the magic in every moment, befriending of all of God's creation, hands open, one holding cows, the other stretching out the invitation to embrace. Start with a smile, she said. Go into friendship, they replied. Waves of forgetting who we are overcome by the waves of remembering, connecting the pieces of the essence. Is this what being in the world but not of it means? Our world is burning and we are in birth labor. Forgive and nourish humanity within me, within you, within us. In the center of the energy vertex that nourishes us, peace. We hold the vision for humanity, we hope, we listen, we respond, we nurture the awakening. What is it that's new, that is needed? Mind of the mother that gives birth to the spirit. A wise pilgrim sees the oneness by examining the fragment, and he calmly observes the whole. He can see the essence of every particle. Thank you.
Hold the silence for a minute, visualizing the radiance. We offer it as a service to whole human family. O thou who gives the sustenance to the universe, from whom all things proceed, to whom all things return, unveil to us the face of the true spiritual sun, hidden by the disk of golden light, that we know the truth and do our whole duty as we journey to thy sacred feet.
tat savitur varenya Virgo devasya dimahidio yona prachodaya Om Bhuvaswa tat savitur varenya Virgo devasya dimahidio yona prachodaya Om Bhuvaswa tat savitur varenya Virgo devasya dimahidio yona prachodaya Om Bhuvaswa tat savitur varenya Virgo devasya dimahidio yona prachodaya Om Bhuvaswa tat savitur varenya Virgo devasya dimahidio yona prachodaya Om Bhuvaswa tat savitur varenya Virgo devasya dimahidio